I hit start recording again. I need to get out of that. I haven't streamed in so long. Hello, welcome to the stream. If you don't know who this is, I guess I can show you his channel. This is Your Movie Sucks. This is his streaming channel. Where's his actual channel? Your Movie. Hello, police or fireman or whatever. A big, strong fireman to make me feel virile. This is he's like a Canadian film reviewer. He made the Kimba video. Where's the Kimba video? You've probably seen this. If you haven't seen this, you've probably seen like the Cool Cat stuff. He's a classic. He made this video, which literally made me hate Will Smith because he just shows I mean, maybe it's edited. He shows a video of Will Smith in an interview with Jaden Smith, and he's just bullying his son. I was like, wow, I really hate that man now. Anyway, yeah, he made a video. If you haven't seen my short, well, I can just show you what I said actually. I can just show you what he fucking said. Let me just here.
Do you know this man, young American? He's actually evil. I don't know if he's evil.
To suggest that there's no such thing as consensual human/animal sex is to be the most naive person on the planet.
That's the most yikes thing I've ever heard. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, so that's Your Movie Sucks. I hope that audio went through like correctly. Hi, what's up? You were gonna remind me. What do you mean about the recording? Thank you. Oh my god. This is gonna be weird because my mic is. Let me move my speakers over so they're farther from my mic so that I can still hear, but my mic can't hear. It's gonna be very, very weird. I don't have a Bluetooth adapter anymore. I ripped it one day going to St. Louis. But yeah, so what we're gonna do with this stream, this is about where he starts talking about the idea. Oh, trigger warning, by the way. So this is about this furry trying to defend zoophilia. So if that is something you're not comfortable with, I would not watch this. But yeah, this I also do want to mention. I saw this from this YouTuber Lagover. Give him a like or whatever. This video is pretty good. This is actually a 2-month-old drama. I didn't hear about it until I saw this, but I just wanted to give my take on it. Because a lot of what he talks about is kind of just expanding and kind of breaking down the idea of laws, and especially how, like, kind of nonsense laws can be and how kind of unfair laws can be in a way. Not saying unfair isn't, like, unjustified, but, like, unbalanced. And I think that's really interesting. I wanted to talk about that because I'm an anarchist. I don't really give a... I wanted to put anarchist in the title. I was like, that's not a good idea because I'm not a good anarchist. I don't think about law. I don't think about, like, theories of how to make laws better. I became an anarchist while studying politics to write a story about it. I'm not, like, a wise sage that, like, knows everything and can, like, break down any argument with my anarchist fucking powers. I just, like, know I don't like laws usually. But this is a very interesting perspective. Let me say that also first. Despite being an anarchist, no, you shouldn't fuck dogs. We'll get into that. Let's just listen to the man talk.
Goats are farm animals.
It's gonna be like a reaction kind of thing.
Wrong with having sex with a goat.
Oh, there it is.
I don't see anything wrong with having sex with a goat.
So that's where that starts. So we're at that. I can't remember what he was talking about earlier, but that's where this starts.
You should be able to rape a goat.
What?
Having sex with a goat. You should be able to rape a goat.
You should. That alone, like, if that was like a joke, I would take it right there, but it's just not. That's so I also, like, I have skipped around through this. I've seen the worst part of this. I'm kind of trying to start from the beginning to get, like, everything. So I'm actually going to shut up and just let the man talk. Let me know if you can't, like, hear this super well or something.
You're able to eat them. They're literally currency.
All right, Adam, talk. I want to hear your opinions, man.
Fucking thing sucks. Oh my god. Thank you for hosting me for Hurricane Snatch. Merci beaucoup. I love it.
This shouldn't be too long. It's like 20 minutes, I guess.
So when you hosted our channel, which is something that I've never done, 'cause I've never, like, bothered to figure out how humans
Oh.
not be able to rape? That saved Malia. Medicine bottles. Oh. Fuck. I got it, saved Malia. What animals should you not be able to rape? Humans.
What? That is something that was like really interesting to me as I was like skipping through this, was that he said that. It's just like, okay, so you're not okay with raping humans, but you've literally called doing it to a goat rape. It's very interesting.
Otherwise, I don't know.
Oh, maybe this is not a very thought out thought, is what it is.
I'm not a support of animal rape. I'm a support of consensual supporter of consensual zoophilia. I don't encourage it. I'm not gonna convince someone to try it. I've never tried it. I don't intend on ever trying it. But I recognize that people exist that will live their whole lives with an urge to do something like that, and meanwhile, while every other person on the planet gets to fulfill their eternal psychological, emotionally / physically driven urges, these other people on the planet that are attracted to the wrong thing somehow aren't able to do that, despite not harming animals in any way that they wouldn't be harmed through any other non-sexual activity.
Okay, yeah. So this is, I have another perspective on here that I think adds to this. Yeah. So the way this is, I used to like know a pedophile. Like we used to like, we used to be pretty close. I assumed he was not offending because he told me that, and I found out he wasn't. And there is this thing. I don't want to accuse Adam of anything because I don't know. The way he is talking is so similar. So I knew him. I knew he would tell me about some of his friends, essentially. I knew some of them. And, like, the thing I noticed with all of them, the thing I noticed with all of them was, like, they were very defensive about it. And, like, they were the only ones I knew that would be like, yeah, maybe it should be legal to, like, do stuff with CP or something like that. Like, that was the only time that I ever heard that in my life. And it's like, I don't know, you can never know, but it's giving me a lot of dog fucker vibes. It's giving me a lot of fucking dog, like, based on my kid fucker experiences, it's giving me a lot of dog fucker vibes. And I don't like that. It makes me very fucking worried. Yeah, and it's like, the way that they talk about it is so, like, and this is a different community of fucking weirdos. They are so, like, they'll say one thing that's pretty that sounds, like, easy to take in if you're, like, naive, which is, like, why when I was when I was around the pedophile, I was like 21. I was a lot more naive, probably a little too fucking naive, honestly. But I was a lot more manipulatable. Some of these things probably sound normal if you don't have world perspectives. The biggest thing that Adam here is saying, the things that I let me clarify this so I don't sound like a fucking monster. The things that I was told was like, I haven't harmed anybody and I don't want to harm anybody. I was like, good enough. If you have an urge, whatever. But yeah, the things that Adam is saying here are very, like, how do you guys feel about this? Like, and the difference is, like, okay, I feel like most people can agree, like, if someone hasn't harmed somebody but they just have fucked up thoughts, like, whatever, that is a thought crime. Like, it took a while before they were like, man, maybe sleeping with kids is okay. I was like, no. Adam's coming right out the gate with it, just dick in hand. Sleeping with animals is okay because some of them can consent. Holy fucking shit. That is so weird. And he'll get into this more. The fundamental thing I want to put forward for this part of it, no, they can't. There is not a possible way for you to communicate with an animal and receive enthusiastic consent, which he literally talks about later, how you should be able to receive enthusiastic consent. There's not a way to do that. We can't communicate with them effectively. Maybe a dolphin? Dolphins seem to really want to fuck humans. I don't know if there's other circumstances around that. When you can't take the idea of consent, like you don't absolutely know someone's consenting, don't do something sexual with them. Please, for the love of fucking God. That's a horrible thing to do. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible fucking thing to do. Yeah. That's my main thing here. Like, again, I'm an anarchist. I think there should not. I don't give a shit about laws. I don't judge people by laws or what laws they follow. I do judge people by actions, and even then, I'm like, I've talked about on the channel before. I always say, like, you should embrace people that do bad things. Even pedophiles, like I was just saying, like, I still look back on those experiences. For a while, I really hated that I had those experiences. I really hated those people, and the biggest part of, like, healing from that situation is being like, they're just people. They're fucking weird, horrible people, but they're just people. They aren't, like, an invalid part of your life that you need to throw away. They've given me an experience where now I can kind of recognize something like this. I think that's ultimately a good thing. And that I interacted with those people, I guess. I don't know. This does not excuse, like, no, there's not a way for it to consent with animals. That does not exist. Okay, they don't. When something's brain fundament. Goodness gravy. When something's brain fundamental, it's kind of the same thing with children. Honestly, when something's brain is fundamentally functioning on a different wavelength than yours, then you should not have sex with it. That's not good. It's a really horrible thing to try to, like, make sound normal. And like I've said, like, to me it sounds like this is him trying to push the bar of, like, can I find a little community where I can just be like an open zoophile on the fucking internet because I'm already fucking my dog or something? I don't know if he's doing that, but I don't know. I don't want to accuse him of anything. That's definitely what I assume. I think he's doing that. I think. That's my opinion. I don't think anyone but a dog fucker would say shit like this. I don't know any dog fuckers, though, so maybe I'm wrong. I've only met the kind of people that say this shit about kids. Anyway, that's so fucking uncomfortable to talk about still, but it happened. I'm just gonna let it be.
You know?
Oh, we gotta fucking skip through this goddamn stream.
To suggest that there's no such thing as consensual. To suggest that there's no such thing as consensual human/animal sex is to be the most naive person on the fucking planet. Dogs try to hump your fucking leg. That's all the evidence I need.
That's all the evidence he needs. That's all the evidence. Okay. I want to see this. Why do dogs hump legs? Why do dogs hunt kids? Jesus. Okay, this is AI. Let's look at something other than AI. Let's look at, like, a few other sources. Because I've had my dog hump my leg, and it to a human, it definitely feels sexually charged. It definitely feels sexually charged. Why do dogs... This is fucking Reddit, but it's still, you know, like, figure out what people are saying. So if you're a criminal on the news, you don't judge them. You look beyond the label of criminal. It's not that I don't judge them. I don't go, like, we should murder him or something like that. Or I don't... It's more like anything he says, I don't, like, go, oh, you're a fucking criminal. I try to consider... It was like... Those, I talked about my ex on here, he, like, was a fucking horrible person, and, like, he fucking also went through a lot of trauma. That is a legitimate part of his experience. I don't want to dismiss that. That makes that, like, that makes it harder to fucking understand his situation. It makes it hard. And honestly, it makes it harder to fight things that happen around, like, these kinds of situations. It's the same thing with pedophiles. Like, a lot of pedophiles have either been raped or have been exposed to child sexual assault content at a very, or not, sorry, have been exposed to sexual content at a very young age. And that's a problem. And we can't just like, you can empathize with them still, is I think an important thing to do. It doesn't mean you need to be like, oh, you're off the fucking handle. Look, I don't care if, like, a dog is fully, like, able to consent. If you're raping a dog, you're fucking weird. I'm gonna treat you like you're fucking weird. But it doesn't mean I'm gonna, like... I'd probably say go away from me. It doesn't mean I'm gonna, like, not try to engage with anything you say about that situation. Whether what you say may be right or wrong. It's just, like, it's not something we need to disregard. I see a criminal yeah, especially, like, with criminals on the news. Like, I see school shooters all the time, and, like, I feel like the default response would be like, that person's a monster. I usually try to look into why they did it. That's a lot more interesting to me than calling someone a monster, because I think then you understand what the situation. Yeah, dogs get, yeah, that's, I'm like, look, I don't care, like, that's just fucking weird, okay? This is the other thing. I'm not gonna, which again is also, like, my thing of, like, I don't really give a shit about, like, what society says. Okay? I don't care about, like, what's right or wrong. Really, that's why I wanted to give this perspective, because I really don't, like, judge things that harshly based on right or wrong. I judge things on, like, how I feel about them. Like, if I see someone stealing, my immediate thought isn't, they're a thief! My immediate thought is, oh, what do they need? You know, like, that's how I usually think about these things. It's the same thing with, like, every other thing. I'm usually, like, trying to empathize with that person. It doesn't mean I take the person's side. It means I try to understand where they're coming from. So I'm usually, like, past things like immediately judging people. But if I see you fucking a dog, you're fucking weird. That's just gross and weird, and I don't like it. Okay? Because it's fucking weird. I don't know. That's fucking... Don't do that. Please. They don't have the same... Like, I can logic it all I want. They don't have the same anatomy. That is fucking disgusting. You're a gross freak if you do that. Okay? To assert dominance. So, some of the people on Reddit are saying the reason that they do this. I wanted to find out, like, okay, what's the reason dogs actually hump dogs? I saw something like it's not exactly for sex. Because dogs don't think like humans. To assert dominance. Female animals will do this to beta males to show them who is more of a leader. Sex is... I feel like, especially here in the West, because we just kind of think of sex as, like, a release instead of a complicated psychological and physiological process, an emotional process. Sex is a lot more than sticking your dick in something and coming. There's so many more things about it, and every animal does it kind of differently. Dogs literally have different anatomy. They have, like, knotted cocks. Like, they're different. It's really stupid to see a signal and go, oh, if a human did that, then that's normal. So if a dog does it, it's the same fucking, like, no, dude, what the fuck? So that's what I'm going off of, is just, like, I bet there's more to it than that it's just horny. Female animals will do this to get beta males to show them who is more of a leader. Dogs are not very bright. Why do humans have sex with their hands? Same difference, dogs are trying to get its rocks off, and paws aren't good for gripping the shaft. This is totally wrong. It might be yeah, someone says it might be non-sexual. Humping is one of the ways that dogs assert dominance, if they're humping your legs. I remember when my dog Greg would hump our new guests, he would... It would always be the new guests. And I don't know what the fuck that meant. It was usually like he was really excited to see someone new, and then he'd start humping their leg. And this is... And finding this out, like, it's probably... I'm gonna probably, like, have more to say on this, but if it is just playing, that's really interesting, because I was so mad at him. Like, dude, stop fucking putting your dick on my guest. But to him, he's just playing, and it's just like, oh, I'm just scolding him for playing. It's not the same to him. At the same time, if someone's humping you, like, you gotta remember the other animal in the equation is a fucking human that's weird too. It's the same thing I always say, like, I don't care what you do, as long as you're not trying to hurt other people in most situations. That's why, like, I say a lot of slurs on the channel, but, like, I am gonna say a lot less of them live streaming, because there's people in the audience that I'm actively interacting with. I'm not trying to, like, actively offend them. I say the offensive shit for the art that I just put out there and forget about. Yeah. Humping things is a reaction to overexcitement or desire to be dominant. Okay, so these are just... Jesus fucking Christ. This is American Kennel Club. That sounds fairly credible. They work with dogs. I wonder if they... You always gotta wonder with these orgs, like, do they have some kind of weird, like, agenda? But I feel like there wouldn't be any agenda around, like, explaining why dogs hump people. I don't know. Maybe this is run by zoophiles like Adam. Let's see. It's the dog misdeed that's most likely to turn an owner's face beat red humping. When your pup gets that gleam in their eye and mouths their pal, or worse, yours, it's tempting to yell, pull the dog away by force, or pray for the ground to open and swallow you. But with a little patience, owners of rambunctious, hump-happy dogs can learn to understand why their dog is humping, and how to productively redirect and to curb their behavior. Oh, shit. That water got me fucked up. That Indiana water got me fucked up. They ain't got shit like that in Missouri. First, the good news. Humping is very common behavior. You are far from being alone and having a hump-loving dogs. And despite appearances, it's not necessarily sexually motivated. And this is the thing I keep hearing, and now I'm actually seeing it on, like, a more confirmed website, which just makes me go, like, what the fuck? Adam, if you see your dog humping, don't assume he's thinking, like, oh, I want to fuck you. Like, no, it's a different fucking creature. Often humping has nothing to do with sex. Cobra is a content creator. I'd like to ask you, is there a responsibility to censor your own content for any prospective viewer that comes across your page, or should it fall on the parent? That's a fucking tough. I think it should fall on the parent. Like, most of my videos open with me saying the most disgusting shit possible. If you're a kid and you're still watching that, that's really concerning. I'm glad I'm really loud, although people have headphones, I don't know. Parents do need to watch their kids more, but, like, that's fucking hard. The only parents I've ever seen with the resources to do that have been stay-at-home mom. They always say that shit. It's like, okay, cool, that's great if you work a fucking office job or something. The two parents working at a fucking warehouse because they got pregnant at fucking 21, like, don't fucking have that. They don't have a way to do that shit. I don't know. This shit pisses me off. But it is, like, a thing. Like, I will say, I'm hoping... It worries me so much because I talk about, like, Pokemon and Sonic and stuff, so I'm like, I know I'm probably getting exposed to children. I don't want them watching my shit. If you're a child, please don't watch this shit. At the same time, there are some things, like, you take in so many ideas as a kid, like so many propagandistic ideas as a kid because you're in a lot more controlled environment. I could see, like, someone like me that's a lot more, like, don't follow these fucking rules, or, like, here's how these things actually work, or, like, stop thinking in all these, like, restrictive ways. I can see how that could be really useful for a kid that's, like, a teenager or something. I have one teenager that I think watches me every once in a while, and I'm like, cool. I hope I don't say anything that fucking horribly scars you. I don't really have the I'm just making art, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna, like, try to censor my shit for somebody. If your kid watches my shit, that fucking sucks. I'm sorry that happened. That really sucks. I'm sorry I just hurt your kid. I'm gonna keep making art, though. Like, they should not be watching this shit. If something comes at me because of that, like, I just gotta deal with it. It sucks. It's another one of those things where I'm just like, you shouldn't hurt people, but there's times when you you should not hurt people, but you are also your top priority. Making stuff is literally my dream. It's all I want to fucking do. I just want to get the shit that's in my head out. If I have to scar a few fucking kids along the way, I'm not trying to, Jesus. But if it happens, I can't really just sit there. I'm not gonna sit there and like reconstruct my art so it never happens again. That the world is not perfect. It's gonna fucking happen, unfortunately. It would be great if parents were able to do that. I don't want to guilt any parents for not doing that. I hope they can try to do that. I told my aunt like she watches YouTube with her kids. Like she knows like a lot of like she knew Oni plays. Like she didn't know them, but she'd heard of them, and I was like, oh, don't let your kid watch that. And it's the same thing with me. I'm like, don't let your kid watch me. Uncle Cobra is not good for kids. But yeah, I just don't. I try to give trigger warning. Like I started this video saying like this is about zoophilia because I don't want people that are triggered by it to interact with it. And I'm trying to. That's something I want to do more. I talked with a friend and I had a friend read one of my stories and they were like, "This is really good. Can you please put fucking trigger warnings here?" And they were just like trigger warnings kind of give you like a way to comfortably navigate the stuff that you're taking in, and I was like, that's fair enough. Like that's not a bad thing to do. I definitely want to do that more. I've probably fucked up and left it out. I'm kind of assuming most people that watch my shit know like it's just whatever evil thing that comes to my mind. Like sometimes it is gonna be horrible, but that is. In art like that to wrap that up, I'm gonna say something that hurts somebody at some point, but I'm trying not to. If that's not good enough, that's not good enough. Then I fucked up. If it's something really bad happens, like maybe it was like if I find out like my shit is constantly being watched by kids, I'm gonna change course. It was the same thing like when the Turkey Tom video happened and like I realized a lot of my audience wasn't the kind of audience that I wanted it to be. They weren't the kind that wanted to watch the things that I wanted to make. They wanted to watch video game content. It's still like that. My last video has 10 views because it's not about video games. This is probably not going to get many views because it's not about video games. And it's just something I gotta, like, I'll just have to change the content then. I'll probably have to just... I don't know if I'd stop playing video games, but maybe I'd swear more or something. Maybe I'd put like a viewer discretion advised warning at the beginning of my videos. I don't know. That I think that does kill your channel a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe I won't care. An artist must put their work first, but I agree. Artists must do what they feel is best. Yeah. It's art. I say so many a lot of my art is like not good or perfect. That last video, like I said, like it had a lot of flaws in it, but it was something I made. I'm fine with it. Art is a statement. I don't know. Back to dog fucking. Often humping has nothing to do with sex. Explains certified applied behavioral animal behaviorist Dr. Mary Birch. She got is she black? Tell me she's black. I want a black doctor. All right. Damn it! Why the fuck did they... That's not her name. She didn't... Why did they put an apostrophe in her name? Oh, she's like a famous doctor. That kind of makes me trust her a lot less. I don't... There are so many, like, famous celebrity doctors that, like, are just exposed for, like, not knowing what the fuck they're talking about. Canine Good Citizen Program. Of course, you're aligned with this. Okay, that makes me trust you a lot less. So, why did you put it... Okay, that apostrophe is just a typo. That's really funny. So what is this all about? Humping is an attempt at dominance. That's what a lot of people were saying. This can apply whether it's a human... And that makes sense to me. Greg seeing... Like, my dog... Like I said, my dog would do that whenever he saw a new person. You know, you see a new person coming to your territory, you probably want to be like, hey, motherfucker, I'm the boss here. That makes sense that you would, like, start trying to show that. Sometimes it's a sign that the dog is stressed, overstimulated, or working out. That makes sense to me. When a pillow is stuffed animal are the objects of your dog's affection. There's a good chance the dog has simply gotten excited and overstimulated. Rowdy play can sometimes cause dogs to get out of control. Okay, I want to cross-reference this from another dog doctor. This is Pet MD by Fuck Chewy! Fuck Chewy! Oh, I'm so tempted to find another article. I fucking hate Chewy. If you've ever worked delivery, you hate Chewy. They have these giant fucking 80-pound boxes full of fucking dog food that all these rich motherfuckers fucking order. Fuck Chewy. They should burn that company down. Hate that fucking company. Anyway, someone has at least 20 people in the world have hernias from delivering Chewy. I guarantee you that is true. I fucking guarantee that is true. Fuck Chewy. God, I remember lifting those fucking things. Yeah, the dog food plate. Yeah, let me okay, can I find this? Chewy FedEx box. Can I find an image of this? They're fucking... Yeah, you get it? Yeah, look at this shit! Look at it. Don't those look like those big boxes they fill up with chips? No, they're dense as fuck. That tape is hanging on for its life. They're dense as fuck and full of dog food. They're the worst thing. Another former... This look. The delivery driver mantra. If you want to not piss off your delivery driver, go to the fucking store. Please. Just go to the fucking store. There are so many things. As a delivery driver, I loved when I got an old person or a disabled person because I'm like, you are literally who this service is actually for. Not the rich motherfucker in a giant mansion ordering fucking Chewy when there's a Kroger down the fucking street. Go to the fucking store. Anyway, look at this shit. This is a wet Chewy box. Look at the fucking tape, barely holding the fucking thing together. These fucking asshole boxes. Fuck Chewy. Anyway, sorry. Just needed to get that out. I fucking hate Chewy. Okay, this is about dogs humping dogs. Humping is a common term for what veterinarians call mounting behavior. This is when a dog puts their front legs around another dog and thrusts their pelvis repeatedly, the humping motion. The mounting behavior can be directed toward the hind end of another dog, the other dog's head or side, or even towards a person or an object. Both male and female dogs, whether they're spayed or neutered or not, can perform mounting behavior. I think Greg still did that after he was neutered. This is talking about them doing it to other dogs, though. Okay, yeah, no, it does say, from another dog friend or person. Are there sources for this article? I hope this isn't just someone else citing the same bitch. Written by... Okay, she's a veterinarian. Yeah, this seems to be, fairly common that it's about dominance. Yeah, the reason... So there's hormones, and a neutered male dog is in fact influenced by testosterone. It will occur in the presence of an unspayed female dog or a female dog is in heat. Some female dogs also... Good lord, we need a corporate rant series. Oh, actually, let me write that down. I forgot. Yeah, no, my last video, I have 3 in it. I meant to fucking make a document of this shit. 3, 33, 24, Chewy bit. No, I'm gonna start cutting out some of the corporate rants from my videos and just making them shorts. I have one where I talk about I think I've told you the story of how my old company used to work for tried to give us DEI training by doing left brain, right brain training shit, and they were a science company, which that is not a scientific thing. That's a wives' tale. That was their diversity training was basically some people are left brained and some people are right brained, but we all gotta work together. And I'm just you motherfuckers put X's and Y's all over your bathrooms because we're a science company. And then the second me and the trans people noticed and started talking shit, you took them down and started this weird diversity bullshit. So weird. Okay, many pet parents assume... Yeah, you remember that? I'm so glad I walked on those motherfuckers. Many parents assume the behavior will stop once their dog is neutered, and while neutering may reduce the amount of behavior, not all... Yeah, I remember Greg stopped doing it. Yeah. I remember Greg stopped doing it as much. I'm still pretty sure he did it every once in a while. But that kind of makes sense. Like, if the amount of behavior increase... Oh, they're doing it in the presence of unspayed female dogs. Play, dog humping behavior. The point that I'm kind of getting here, though, is, like, you don't know why he's doing it. There's 6 different reasons here. There's 2 different websites, and it's, like, the common consensus on Reddit that, like, it's probably not always them being horny. Okay? I don't know if you have some psychic ability to tell if your dog is fucking horny. But you probably don't. Please don't assume that and fuck your dog. It's really weird. It's really fucking weird. Don't do that. Okay. Is the volume on?
Don't have the same type of reservations that human beings do when it comes to sex.
Animals, is that him, like, taking away their ability to... Is that him taking away, like, I guess their ability to consent, or saying that they always consent? That's what that sounds like to me. Animals don't have the same reservations about sex. I feel like they do. I feel like if you have sex with something and it doesn't want it, it's gonna get upset. That's just a theory. That's just a game theory. Hold up. Why? Okay, this is Wikipedia. Sexual coercion among animals is the use. Yeah, no, they absolutely can. I forgot. Yeah, because geese have literally evolved their vaginas to resist being raped by fucking geese. Or ducks, not geese. So they definitely, like, don't like it. That is definitely a thing. Like, they definitely try to resist. They've literally, like, selectively bred to not have sex as easily, so they get raped less easily. There are definitely other animals that don't consent. I don't know what this magic veil of, like, oh, well, we talk, so we're different. Like, no, as much different as we are... This is the thing that I've kind of learned from just hanging out with birds and, like, other animals at the zoo all the time and shit, is, like, they have similarities to us. Just because we don't understand them doesn't mean they don't feel some of the same emotions as us. A lot of our brains work in kind of similar ways on certain things. I think consent is one of those things, like, just in general. You know, that's kind of like saying, oh, an animal isn't gonna, like, feel bad if you beat the shit out of it. Yes, it fucking will. What do you fucking mean? An animal's not gonna feel bad if you suddenly have sex with it. Yes, it will. Yes, it fucking will. Why the fuck would it not? What? Again, this is 10 years old. We'll get to his updated opinion, which is, like, barely any fucking different from what I can tell.
If it feels good, they're probably okay with it.
And animals, the creature is known for, like, every week there's a science article. Oh, this animal can do this like a human. This animal can do this like a human. They're too fucking stupid to differentiate feeling good to fucking that's so obviously fucking stupid. I don't even know if that's worth talking about.
That's probably a sign that they're not okay with it.
There's a fight and flight response. Okay, that's something worth looking up. There is the fight or flight response in animals. Or not fight or flight. Fight or freeze response. That's AI. Oh, most commonly reserved in prey animals. Yeah, that is literally a thing. I forgot about that. Yeah, if you try to run over a deer, this is the most annoying fucking thing if you're ever traveling. If you almost hit a deer, like I felt so fucking bad. I hit I think a possum one time because I was just driving and he ran in front of my car and he went and, like, that's a real thing. And it's so easy to get mad, but you got to remember that's a thing that happens to our brains. Okay, go ahead with your AI related question, Abe. I'll answer it after this rant. But that is a thing. That's how a lot of abusive situations happen. That's how a lot of rape happens. in the human world, where like something's just happening and you don't know how to respond, so you either like give in or you just let it happen. And yeah, it sucks. It like that's a thing. Animals definitely have that too. They definitely have it if you're trying to sexually assault them. I can say that with pretty good certainty. Is it ethical to use AI for homework if you know it will help you succeed? I don't think it is ever ethical to use AI unless the one thing I will say, there's local AI. Even that I don't know. The problem with AI is that it runs off of large language model data centers. There's the plagiarism thing, which I kind of care about, but not that much. If you're wondering, like, is it ethical to use if it's homework and you're just worried about plagiarism, who the fuck cares? You're not like presenting a piece of art. You're giving something so this fucking teacher will leave you alone. Who the fuck cares, honestly? As far as like, I don't think it's. I try not to use AI as much as I can. I still do because I'm not like, again, I don't try to be a good person all the time. But it is. They run out of these data centers that, like, most things you do to harm the environment aren't doing nearly as much as the meat industry, which we're actually going to talk about later. But like the meat industry alone does more damage to the planet than any one person can do. AI is the first time where it's like, no, you're actually contributing to something that's actively harming the planet, like in a significant way. And it's just because like it's always it runs in these systems that eat so much fucking electricity, and then everything fucking uses it. That's a horrible combination. That's why I try not to use it as much as I fucking can. It's really bad. It's really fucking bad. It's probably gonna destroy the planet one day. I looked at one point into local AIs that didn't run off of a bunch of, because the way that they work is like you have like your and I'm not an expert on networking, so maybe this is a little bit off, but you have, what would you call this, like the client? You have a client, and this is a computer that like has the AI program that, so like you look up ChatGPT through your phone or your computer, and then what you do is you ask it a question, and then ChatGPT sends that question to a house full of fucking computers constantly running, constantly doing all these complicated programs to like train itself and think. And it takes a lot of fucking computers to do that, from what I understand. So it's like that's and then it's sending it back. And the reason I brought that up is so I thought of like doing a local AI that like only ran on itself, and you could kind of control how much electricity it used. And I didn't get too far into it. I kind of came to the conclusion, like, I don't know if this would even be worth it. I don't know if it would work well enough. I think the thing is, like, a local might be better. Like, a local server might be better, like one that you control what goes in and out of. Just because, like, the ChatGPT server uses up so much electricity because there's so many people coming in and out of it. Like, it's using a lot. I think if you're using one, maybe that's better. But yeah, AI is not good. Don't use AI. But like I also say, don't like make yourself. Don't give yourself fucking laws. Just try to be a good person. I think that's one of the worst things that we have in Western society is like we see something that's not good and like, I'm never gonna do that again. And if I do it again, I'm gonna feel horrible about it. It's like, don't do that. Don't. No one fucking cares. Go back to the Stone Ages. I have had that thought experiment, like, because I would just go into a fucking cave and paint. I just want to make shit. That's really it. But it would suck. I would have this thing where, like, fuck, everything I've worked on is gone now. I think about that like constantly. Like, if a solar flare hits the Earth, do you think we can exist peacefully without laws? I do. Again, I'm not a super studied anarchist. A lot of my study is actually just in explicit leftism. There's a lot of branches of anarchism. But the main thing I always see with anarchists is, like, if we have organizations that treat certain needs. The problem is crime, the main anarchist philosophy, crime does not exist because people are evil. Crime is a problem of need. People commit crimes because they need something. If we can make organizations that address those needs instead of having an authoritarian system that tells you what needs, like, what you're not allowed to do, like I think that works a lot better. A lot more people can heal and not deal with like a bunch of bullshit in their life. Genuinely, I think there's some laws we don't need, but at the same time, laws provide some order to an extent. My thing is like, so like some laws I totally get why they're there. Driving laws, I'm like, those kind of make sense. Driving is fucking dangerous. Do we need cars? I've said this in the past. I don't think we do, but I don't even know if I still agree with that. Here's the short answer. We could not exist peacefully without laws. We don't exist peacefully with laws. Laws are literally just a problem, though. Like they do solve some problems, but they also cause so many problems. It's like, why not get rid of them and find something better? We're already not living peacefully. We're living under laws that are like really restrictive. It gets really bad. And yeah, I think there's probably better people than me to talk about. Like I researched to make a story. I don't know, and I'm a newer anarchist too. I just like I know like what I think, and it's just like laws are kind of dumb. I don't regard them a lot of the time as like serious things that need to be like respected. Really, I think they're kind of fucking lame. I think in general, telling people what to do is just really fucking gay. Like, it's the same reason I don't like managers. Just make an essay, for goodness sake. I'm probably gonna make these a short or something, I don't know. You're giving me, here, let me write that one down too. You're giving me a lot of good shit to go off of. 46, 28, laws. I might just have to go back through that. You're giving me good shit to, like, make shorts about. Thank you. So we got freezing behavior.
Argument that, oh, you can't tell if it's consenting or not, even though it's clearly enjoying itself. Okay. That's bullshit. I can't believe people.
Wait, what did he just say?
Okay. If it's consenting or not, okay with it.
I think we need more people speaking on anything and having an open debate like we used to in Greece. Yeah, I think that would be good. A lot of the anarchist philosophies that I know of are like, so there's the idea of like having systems of support, and one of my favorite things with anarchy is just the idea that it's like all of our societies have had this kind of top-down ideology of like there needs to be an authority in place, and it's like, why do we need authority? Why do we need something to tell us what to do? Instead, the thing that is true is like when someone does something fucked, it's like this dude talking about fucking dogs and like he's probably getting canceled. You being excluded from your community is a horrible, traumatizing thing to happen. And we will do that if you like murder someone. Like, we will just not give you access to us anymore. We'll probably fucking shoot you. Like, well, people will probably like beat your ass or kill you if you murder somebody and there's like nothing to stop them. So I don't think a lot of people would murder somebody if there was like nothing to stop them. Instead, it's the same thing with like if you rape like a little girl. Instead, we have laws that let people, like, go to jail for, like, 5 fucking years for that shit, and nothing happens. It's like, it's not, in that situation, I'm like, no, they need to, like, allow you to just beat the fucking shit out of pedophiles. There's that guy that shot a pedophile on accident. I don't know if you know about this. This guy, This dude was like a registered sex offender, and he moved in this neighborhood, and he kept like glaring at little girls, and this dude was like a former teacher, and he basically went up to like warn him, like, if you do this shit, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and he accidentally shot him, and then he went to jail for it, and that guy's like so remorseful about it. I'm like, no, you did the right thing. That dude was clearly gonna hurt those little girls. He'd already hurt so many children. Like, Japan's criminal justice system is horribly egregious. Yeah, it is. I don't know. I listen to Japanese true crime, and it's always something like... It's always British people doing Japanese true crimes. I assume they're British Japanese people, but they're always just like, the police didn't do anything because they didn't want to look like they were stupid, or they didn't want the community to look bad. It's like, what the fuck? Why? Jesus Christ. I mean, that's... They don't do that here in America. They do that here in America just because they're fucking lazy. I think. Like, bro, their phones are sold with a camera phone shutter sound automatically on. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's also like there's women's only trains. Yeah. I mean, that's the community kind of coming together, I think, because in the laws failing them. I'm kind of there probably should be women's only trains if there's that bad of a sexual assault problem. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Or sexual harassment problem. And it's like, the thing with law is it becomes very cultured around the people that you're around. So, like, we have laws, like, the law against not cannibalism. Cannibalism makes sense to be illegal. The law around cannabis, from what I understand, was just to serve capitalist interests because we're in a hyper-capitalist system that very favors capitalism. They didn't... lobbyists, like, organized together to prevent hemp from being used for certain things. From what I understand. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I heard that on Family Guy, so maybe that's fucking bullshit. That's not the point of the stream, so I'm not going to, like, look that up. But that's a thing where it's just, like... that was shaped by the culture around them. There's a capitalist culture serving capitalist needs. The same thing with, like, with Jim Crow laws. There was a white culture serving white needs. Laws aren't the justified thing that everyone agrees on. They're what the power structure in command wants to happen. And sometimes there's compromises. Like, I think a lot, like, you're not going to have any kind of power structure if you can't enforce, like, murder and rape and shit is illegal. Because the average person, that's the only thing they're worried about is, like, being murdered or raped. But lobbyists are genuinely awful people. No good, awful, stinky dummies. Yeah, they are. It sucks. They should, like, ban... They should ban corporate lobbying. Because lobbying is not meant for capitalism. Lobbying is meant for individual people to be able to talk to their senator and make them aware of problems. Instead, it is only used by capitalists. And part of that is because the American public has no interest in politics. And a lot of them know, like, if they try to show interest, it's not going to do anything. But, yeah, lobbying sucks. It fucking sucks. I think it could be better, but it fucking sucks.
You can't tell if it's consenting or not, even though it's clearly enjoying itself. Okay.
We can't. Okay, I'm not gonna touch on that. I've already said my piece. I've already said my piece on that. On it's clearly enjoying itself.
I can't believe people.
I can't believe you, Adam. You fucking idiot.
I can't believe how much of society is just dictated by people saying, "I don't like it," or "Ick, that's gross," or "They're not a part of my tribe." It's disgusting to me. It's disgusting to me.
This is one of the things that made me really interested in this, because that is a true thing. A lot of laws, like, this is why these kinds of people try to attach to the LGBT, because like I said, a lot of laws are just cultural shit, and they're just like what people think is gross. It's the same thing with, like, societal norms. We can't dress certain ways at our jobs because white people don't like when the prevailing culture, the majority of people in this country don't like that we dress certain ways. That's weird and prejudiced. That can be weird and prejudiced, but there's sometimes when, like, no, what you're doing is just fucking wrong. There's a difference between prejudiced and wrong. Some things, like, I always say, like I literally said it earlier, like, I don't always judge people for being wrong or evil. That doesn't make them not wrong or evil. You should absolutely consider when someone is wrong or evil. That's bad. Don't do bad. Don't do bad shit, but also, like, but I always say, like, if you do it, it's not the end of the fucking world. Yeah.
Human-animal sex is not nearly as disgusting as the mentality that discriminates against people who have never abused animals that are attracted to animals. Zoophilia laws, I'll say this again,
if you do not understand how an animal is thinking towards you, you do not know if you have abused an animal. Saying that they haven't abused an animal is like, you don't know. You just don't know. You have no way of knowing.
On this same rant in, like, 20 other videos. Zoophilia laws.
Oh, sorry.
Are laws that exist that only affect people that are consensually having sex with animals without abusing them. Animal abuse laws already exist. If somebody had sex with an animal and the courts determined that the animal was abused by somebody having sex with that animal, then they would already go to jail over animal abuse laws. Laws that exist against bestiality or zoophilia literally only affect people who were not abusing the animal.
I don't think there's a fucking... I don't think there's a fucking situation where a court... Like, again... Do I think there's a possibility that an animal could consent? Maybe. That's putting a fucking target on my back. Maybe. The problem is you would never have a way of fucking understanding. It's literally better to assume that you are, so that you don't fucking do it. Like, the way he's talking about it's like, I know exactly if I've abused my dog. And it's like, no, you don't. I promise you, you don't. You definitely don't. You don't. You can't talk to the fucking thing to find out. You don't.
So if somebody sucks a dog's dick, or if somebody, like, bends over and a dog starts fucking their butt and they get caught, like, even if they just didn't move or whatever.
I wonder how that works. I feel like I don't want that in my search history. I'm not going to look into that. Someone else can do that. Someone else please look into that. I don't want to look up, hey, how often do dogs just fuck a naked human? And I will say that also brings it into the account, like, the I don't know. There is, like, a sense of, like, regret, you know, that you might get from that, which can be its own form of fucking trauma. Yeah, that's, like, the one thing where I'm like, oh, I could see that. I don't know if that wouldn't traumatize them. Maybe I don't know enough about that.
Even if they just, like, looped up and let the dog do what it wanted to do or something. And
I could very easily see a dog going like, you took advantage of my emotions at the time. You presented yourself. I mean, that also is like, I don't know. If I'm like abhorrently horny and I'm a dumb fucking dog and someone's presenting their asshole and I'm just like in this horrible mood and then I do it and then I go, I mean, I'm a fucking dog. I don't know how they think, but then I do it and then I'm like thinking about it later. I'm like, that was really fucked up. Why did I do that? Fuck. Like that's another situation. It's like probably shouldn't have fucking done that. I don't know. There is the trauma response of like trying to recreate traumas too, which I could see happening. Like, maybe he does it... Either maybe it's already happened to him, and then he starts doing it again because he's just trying to recreate the trauma, even though it actually fucked him up. Or, like, he does it once, decides he doesn't like it, but it fucked him up, and he decided he's doing it again to, like, recreate the trauma. Like, that is a thing people do. That's a thing a lot of animals do. They... when something traumatic happens to them, they try to recreate it to, like, get used to the pain of it. It's very bad. It's why PTSD works the way it does. It gives you flashbacks of things that are horrible because it's trying to get you reused to like experiencing them. And you need to not run away from that shit is what you're supposed to do, but it's really fucking hard too.
They got caught, and the dog clearly wasn't abused, and everybody in the courtroom determined that there was no abuse taking place. They would go to jail. That's what those laws are for. That's what those laws are for, and it's disgusting.
That's just like if they catch you fucking a dog, I'm pretty sure they're gonna give you a dog abuse charge, dude. That's abuse. That is the only way you could see that is like potential abuse or probable abuse because you don't have a way to communicate with the dog for him to say like, oh, it wasn't abuse. It's more than likely abuse, and the way that abuse works, people that are abused don't always know that they're abused. It like, ugh. I don't. This is fucking annoying. I'm still gonna watch another hour video after this.
See that people are openly willing to send people to jail for literally victimless crime. There's no logic that defends that position.
If a dog like it's the same thing. So I've seen this with a lot of birds. Like you can't pet birds on like their chest or their back because if you do, they will bond to you. And then they will basically only want to fuck humans. They'll really only want to fuck you. And it's weird. That's abuse. You've molested your bird. And I see it so fucking often. That's probably a video I'm gonna make. I see it so often on TikTok with somebody just literally molesting their fucking bird and like just because they're trying to pet it like a fucking dog for views. I'm like, you motherfucker. But that bird is now like fucked up in a way that it only wants to fuck humans, and then it's especially horrifying for them when the human like doesn't want to fuck them. It's so like rejectful and horrible for them to experience. It's very easy to imagine if a dog gets used to fucking humans. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, he wasn't traumatized then. If now he's around humans that don't want to fuck him, it's going to be really weird for him and really horrible and really rejecting if he doesn't just get like neutered or something. I don't know. To like not to the thing you've gotten used to having sex with now doesn't want to fuck you. Like there's so many angles of this where it's like, the fuck, dude.
Emotion that defends that position.
I don't think this dude like understand. For a furry, he really does not understand animals.
Go, oh, that's gross, or that disturbs me.
Or he personally doesn't understand animals. Or purposely doesn't understand animals.
Have sex with somebody else, but you have to understand that you're not a fucking animal.
Yeah, you're not, Adam. You fucking retard.
The animal would want to or wouldn't want to. So the only way to determine if there's actual abuse is for a court to decide that an animal was being abused.
Courts are not perfect metrics for anything.
Should not be guilty until proven innocent. You can tell what abused animals look like. People who help abused animals can tell what they look like. And yes,
You cannot always tell what abused people look like. How the fuck would you be able to constantly... Like, there are very obvious signs of abuse that a lot of animals will show. Like, I remember my dog Greg was very, like, shaky a lot of the time around, like, new people. Like, when you'd yell at him, that would happen a lot. There are ways to tell, but there are also ways... Like I said, like, if it's something like that where, like, a dog is used to having sex with humans and then it suddenly isn't allowed to, it's probably not going to show that. It's probably just going to be upset. And you won't really know about it. You won't really know why, you know?
I agree that there are many animals that have been abused sexually. It is very possible to abuse animals sexually, as it is possible to abuse human beings sexually. But that does not mean that every time that somebody has sex with an animal or a human being that it's abuse.
I can see, like, that almost makes sense. Maybe not every time. I don't know. I could see that being a possibility. I could also just as easily see it being a possibility that every time an animal is just like, no. I don't know. There are dolphins. They seem to fucking want it. The thing is, the core thing is, like, you don't. Maybe I should just go to the next video. I'm getting tired of reiterating this. You don't know. Like, you there's no way to know. Why are you, like, trying to defend this when there's no way you would fucking know? I'm just gonna kind of let this run until he talks about something else. So I'm kind of, like, reiterating a lot of the same points.
Are you being serious or sarcastic, Bazambi? Because, like, if you're saying that the burden of proof is on me to prove that an individual animal can enjoy having sex with someone, and that it should be illegal if you find out that the animal didn't enjoy, is what you're saying. You're being serious. Okay. So, if an animal doesn't enjoy being put in a cage, we jail those people because that's abuse? Like, if an animal is like, literally thrusting their hips into a human being, do we not consider that as evidence that the animal is enjoying themselves? Like, answer that question. If an animal is thrusting their hips into a person, wagging their tail, whatever, showing every other sign in the fucking world that we have determined has been a sign that an animal is enjoying themselves, then we're supposed to believe that an animal actually isn't because there's some form of sex involved? If a dog is acting in the exact same way that they would if they were fucking a female dog, then we should just consider all sex that animals have on their own without human beings abuse, is what you're saying? Like, I don't get it. Don't post that shit in chat. Don't post links. I'm pretty sure certain states have laws against that, so I don't want any of that porn in this chat. Animated porn, but I would ask that mods would regulate to make sure. I didn't even click on the link, so I don't know if what you posted was legit or not, but I'm just saying. No actual animal porn in my chat, please. I don't I'm making a logical argument.
No animal porn in my chat.
You would have to go on a case-by-case basis, is what you were saying, Bazambi. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. That is something that we both agree. You would have to go on a case-by-case basis. I love that idea. Please, let's have a law that there aren't blanket rules enforced over every single person that has ever done anything sexual with an animal ever. let's make it a case-by-case basis so that innocent people are not thrown in jail. I agree.
How would you make it case by humans cannot determine that shit?
Having sex with an animal and they were enjoying it and they got caught, I'm sure they would be able to prove that the animal was enjoying it more. If they're allowed to just do it and record it again or something, I'm sure they'd be able
Like, I get a veterinarian can find certain signs. If you've ever actually worked with a mental health expert, like, a veterinarian probably can tell certain signs of animal abuse. There are so many things that, like, mental health experts for humans don't understand. Why the fuck would a vet... I'm making, like, a false equivalency here, but that makes sense to me, like, because I don't want to, like, look up, like, oh, can they tell every fucking sign? That's going to be, like, a lot of Google work. But it makes sense to me, like, why the fuck would they be able to tell, like, people can hide their abuse. And the other thing is, like, a lot of times, especially, like, I've been through a lot of abuse, you don't realize you've been abused until you get out of it. You, like, normalize it in your head and try to give yourself, like, an equilibrium. That's how humans work. I imagine animals probably do the same thing.
able to prove it if that's what they're doing.
I don't know. I should stop trying to dismantle every one of his fucking arguments. Because I don't know if I'm equipped fully for all of them.
What I'm saying is that I'm in favor of people who aren't abusing animals not going to jail. If somebody's abusing an animal and having sex with it, I'm not in favor of that. Okay, so I pick up that thing, that's all there is. That's my only argument. If somebody's actually abusing an animal, if the animal does not want it, I don't support that. But I'm just not naive enough to believe that there's no such thing as an animal that can enjoy having sex with a human being. Like, how many gifts do you see upvoted to the front page of Reddit?
How would you
like,
tell, you
monkeys
dumb
or
motherfucker?
some shit, like,
I'll just get a vet to tell. Okay, they can't talk to the fucking dog.
sex that people post on the What the Fuck subreddit all the time.
That's why we have laws for things like kids and animals and shit, because they like you can also be abused as an adult and not like admit it and not realize it and not show signs. That happens constantly. I know people that are constantly going through that, and like you can't do anything. They're a fucking adult. There are some things where it's like, no, we can tell, like, in most cases this isn't going to happen, so we're just not going to let you fucking do it. You don't have... Here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing about life. You don't have to fuck kids, and you don't have to fuck anything, actually. You don't have to fuck kids, and you especially don't have to fuck kids or fuck animals. So just don't. Just don't, man. Alright? Like I said, like, even as an animal, if there was no laws, I'd still beat your fucking ass if I saw you fucking a dog. That's so weird.
Like, how many gifs have you seen where it ends in the dog humping someone's face after they fell over?
It's always the dog humping. I swear to God, it has to be his fucking dog.
Don't have sex and then go, oh, I wonder what he thought about me.
What is Adam's persona? He is a furry. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Oh God, I hope. Let me put this over here. Actually, I don't want to see some porn and actually get banned. It's a horse? It's a horse. Can I show... Let's do this one. It's a horse. Bro is wild. Bro likes that horse dick. Holy shit. I underestimated him. He's got power.
Am I really with the right person, or is this what I want to do with my life, or any of the other human psychologically repressed reservations that we have? Animals don't do that. They don't think that far. They just want to ejaculate. That's all they want to do.
No, they don't.
Anyway, I totally welcome a conversation about this in like the comment section. And all
That's such a simplified view of life.
To my beliefs so permanently that I can't have my mind changed. And please understand the flaws in trying to compare this with pedophilia, because I mean, literally, pedophilia is a completely other different issue. And every time I see zoophilia argued on any forum anywhere, there's always somebody that jumps in and is like, "But what if a child really enjoyed it?" I'm like, that's not the same argument. It's not the same argument because we have evidence to suggest that children are psychologically affected by this, right? We give a shit about people. Oh yeah, this is his other argument. So children are shown to be psychologically affected by having sex when they're young. That which is true. Are animals psychologically affected by bestiality? And even if this isn't true, that might just mean no one's researched it. It is okay, that's the AI. An adolescent with bestiality behavior. Oh, God damn it. A lot of these are about humans.
A lot of these are about humans, like, committing bestiality. What cruelty feels like for animals themselves. Dude, shut the fuck up. Dude, shut the fuck up. If you ever want to fucking get rid of these pop-ups, by the way. Oh, is this just reject all non-essential? Okay. Yeah, if you ever... Okay, let me reshow you guys that, because I use this so much. If you're ever... Well, fuck. Okay. Can I... I guess I've already accepted the cookies. So, we'll do it with this. If you're ever, like... If you're ever, like, you got a pop-up that's, like, not letting you use something because you've disabled ad blocker, if you ever want to get past that, right-clicked... Fuck. Let's do it with this button. You can do this with like any element. Right click, inspect, and then just find the top level element of that thing, and then just delete it. And then you might have to do it a few times, like there. Now that's just gone. That's just gone. So that will let. So with pop, I wish I had that pop up still. With pop ups, there's like you saw like the background behind that box was gray. You can usually select that too and just delete it, and it lets you use the website again. Usually you might not be able to scroll. There might be like some HTML code you can insert with that to let you scroll again, but you can usually just delete it. Intentional active cruel. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of I've been like spending a lot of time on this and I don't have forever. We still have an hour video to get over, but like it looks like this is literally saying this. The AI is saying it too. I know we shouldn't trust the AI, but like that is pulling from different things. I think we can kind of safely assume that there is evidence that animals suffer trauma from having sex with humans. What the fuck wouldn't they, you fucking idiot?
Psychologically affected by this. If we gave a shit about animals being psychologically affected, even though there's no evidence to suggest that they would be negatively psychologically affected by consensual, enjoyable sex. Even if there were, you don't put people in jail for leaving a dog in a kennel when it doesn't want to be in a kennel. You don't put people in jail for feeding an animal the same food over and over again its entire life. You don't put people in jail for leaving a dog in your back porch with nowhere to go to the bathroom. Leave it there for like 8 hours while you're gone to work, come back, and once you see that it pissed itself because it had nowhere to go, then you rub their fucking nose in there, piss. You don't put people in jail for that, so you shouldn't put people in jail for sucking a dog's dick.
Okay, this was the thing that really made me want to talk about this point here, that like there's other forms of animal abuse that people do not get jailed for. So you shouldn't be put in jail for sucking a dog's dick. And that's where like my anarchist philosophy comes up, because I don't agree with him on the idea that the idea that those are bad and you don't get put in jail, so you shouldn't get put in jail for sucking a dog's dick, is very weird. It definitely is like that one's the law just because it's gross. Maybe you should get some kind of punishment for all those. Those are all bad things. Those are horrible fucking things to do to a dog. The way that we treat animals is very dismissive. They're meant to be pets. Literally, like they're meant to be these like toys of life. They're toy versions of life instead of like animals that think and breathe. You can really see it in the way he talks about them here, like they're fucking retarded, like brainless cum dumpsters. I wouldn't be that opposed to making stricter laws about that shit. Like honestly, like I mean, I'm not that in favor of laws in general. I think, but like if you beat up your dog or something, you should feel pretty fucking bad. It's pretty fucking bad and pretty fucking traumatic. I don't know if it's more or less traumatic than having sex with the dog. I imagine it's probably around, if you beat your fucking dog and it's like has no chance to fight back, probably about the same kind of thing. I'd assume. I don't know. Or like if you like feeding it the same food every day, it's like, yeah, no, he's got a point that we should treat our fucking animal. Doesn't mean you should fuck your dog. That is such a weird fucking equivalent. You can argue for like we should treat animals better and not say we should fuck dogs. That is really that's another thing where I'm like, no, you want to fuck your dog. This is not if you just wanted us to treat animals better, I'd be totally on board with that, and that's something we should talk about. You don't do that by letting people fuck their dogs. That is so weird. That is so fucking weird.
seriously, the world is fucked up. The world is so fucked up. We eat and kill animals.
Yeah, we
We're
do.
discriminating against people. And
This is another thing, like, I've brought this up a few times. The fact that we have to kill other things to eat is inherently fucking evil. We have to do, like I said earlier in the stream, we have to do evil sometimes. We literally have to do it to survive. It's part of our nature. Not hurting other things is a good thing to do. You should try to do that. You should try to have harmony with other things in the world. You will probably notice that if you don't, like, try to hurt other things, they usually don't try to hurt you. I'm so nice to, like, every animal and bug that I see. I usually talk to, like, bees now. I'm terrified of bugs, but I usually try to talk to bees now when they fly near me, and they're, like, super chill about it. Like, it's maybe that's like a false equivalency, but it makes your life a little better if you just try to be nicer to things. You should be nicer to things. You should stop abusing animals. You should try to feed them different things every day. You should try to it really sucks because I know some people, like my roommate has cats and she does feed them the same shit every day. And that sucks. They probably don't want that. She also loves those cats. I'm not about to, like, shame her for feeding them the same shit every day. It's not like it's bad. There are other ways of, like, maybe I'm not equipped to, like, maybe I'm not. I have an argument in my head where I'm like, I am tired. I've been talking about this for a while, and I don't know if I have the right words to say this. Maybe we'll have to edit something in better when I've watched this left. Bees are awful, no good, stinky pieces of government propaganda. I believe that, dude. If I find out that birds are government propaganda, I'm just gone after that. That's the worst. I think what I was trying to get at is it's like it sucks. It's also like, I don't know, not. I wonder how much our like for eating different things every day. And this is another thing where, like, Adam is taking these really simplified views of how animals think. We like eating different shit every day because we're allowed to. Some people aren't. Some people eat the same fucking thing every day. It's just food to them. I don't know. I don't know if animals are different in that regard. They don't have the same privileges that a lot of us do. Maybe it's fine to them. Who knows? Let's look that up, actually. Eating different things eating the same thing every day. Oh, this is Reddit. Let me go to, like, an actual fucking source. Simple answer is... this is kind of going to be hard to... Dogs like routine. Okay, dogs like routine. That's that one doctor, I'm assuming, right? By Ollie. Wave loved his food until one day he doesn't. He was healthy and active. He just seemed to be bored with the food. In contrast, my current dog does a Snoopy dance of joy every time I feed her. Meal times are the best times of the day. Yeah, that I have noticed that. Like, I used to work walking dogs, and, like, they get really happy when they get fed. Dogs like routine, which includes consistency, are not unusual when it comes to their food choices. Dogs like routine, which includes consistency in their food. They have fewer taste buds than we do by a long shot. That's interesting. Hello? Hello. Listen, bitch. Listen, I'm talking shit about you. You keep feeding your cats the same thing every day, and you're gonna get the...
Do you want me to piss in your cereal?
Yeah, please. No, I'm researching...
What the fuck? Stop talking to me!
Sam, I love you. Wait, did you have something to say?
I did. Not anymore, you rat.
So it does seem some of them...
Me lied. I'm not on the schedule for next week.
Okay, is this something we're streaming right now? I'm just trying to...
Oh, shit!
Yeah.
I was gonna see if you wanted to go fuck around, but alright, if you stream it, you stream it.
I might be done pretty soon here. Don't talk...
Is my boyfriend on there?
No, Abe said don't talk to Sam that way, though.
Yeah, don't talk to Sam that way!
fucking feeding your cat the same shit every day. That's fucking
I'll
evil.
piss in your cereal.
I'll probably
I just wanted
drink
to see
it.
if you wanted to dick around or not.
We can, yeah.
We're about to go do stuff. You need to know.
Let me finish up with this. I'm almost done. What I'm probably gonna do is watch this video and then watch Adam's response tomorrow.
Do you, Wookie? Do you?
Yeah.
It's too cold for you to be up in this bitch.
I fucking feel that. Yeah, our heat went out. That was a fucking wonderful thing that happened. Our fucking heat went out. Okay, yeah. So dogs seem to like it, according to this. It wouldn't be that weird to me if cats did. That's the thing. Animals are not humans. And it's so weird because he like at the same time is like trying to make them sound like it and then trying to strip away their he wants them to be humans when it's convenient, and then when it's not, they're just dumb animals that like coming. It's so weird.
The reason that people hold a different standard to it is because they're attracted to something that other people aren't. And that is what is absolutely disgusting about this. Anyway, I'm passionate about it because it's
You don't.
huge discrimination.
You literally don't understand. I mean, this is 10 years ago. We'll talk about the response, like the 10 years later thing tomorrow. It's not much better. It's a lot near version of the same fucking points.
Going on right now. I don't think people should get married to animals, obviously. Marriage is a very complicated thing. But I understand that some people would immediately make that argument.
What?
People get married to animals? Nope. I just want people to have the same freedoms as other people. If you're allowed to put a metal electrocuting rod up a pig's asshole to castrate it, if you're allowed to glove up your hand and shove it up a cow's asshole and artificially inseminate it with another cow's semen,
Okay.
literally forcing a pregnancy on that cow, raping the cow and forcing it to get pregnant by another cow that it did not have sex with, then if you stick your dick in a cow, why should you fucking go to jail?
Adam, maybe that should be fucking illegal. Oh my god. So what he's talking about is like the meat industry, which I talked about earlier. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened to our fucking planet. The meat industry does more damage to the planet than anything else, than all of humanity combined, like, will ever do, just on its fossil fuel consumption. That's not even to talk about the horrible abuse it does to the animals. The way that we treat animals absolutely needs to be reevaluated, okay? We probably don't need, like, instant fucking animal food all the fucking time. This is also why, like, a lot of people get grossed out by synthetic meat. And I see a lot of left-leaning people do it too. They're like, "Oh, that's not real meat. It's not." It's like, no, synthetic meat is literally better. If you want a more peaceful society, it's literally better. It is a little bit like, again, it erases the violence that is inherent to our species. You know, that, to me, that's a little weird. Just because it's like, have we evolved past human? I don't know if that's a bad thing though. You know? That might be a good thing. I also don't know what it's made of. Maybe it's still made of, like, plants or something. But we should stop abusing animals so much. We should stop trying to, like, hyperinflate how much meat we have access to. Okay, they're a part of this planet too. Just because we own everything doesn't mean that, like, we're we're deserved of torturing fucking animals to have a fucking burger at McDonald's. Like, that shit needs to be reassessed. That doesn't mean the fact that it should not be like persistent and then also we can fuck dogs. That's not a good equivalent for that. That's just weird. Just a weird fucking idea. How about we talk about how evil the meat industry is instead of going like, hey, if that's okay, then I can fuck a dog. No, it actually needs to be disassembled. If this was like a one-off thing that he said one time and didn't try to defend so hard, I could see that as being like a statement of like, we need to disassemble the meat industry. But it's not. It's consistently him saying we need to be able to fuck dogs, since we can already abuse animals in other ways. People don't. He never says we should disassemble the meat industry. He says people shouldn't go to jail since there's already people abusing animals. That's so fucking weird. That's so fucking weird.
any fucking sense. Anyway. Let's just slaughter animals and eat them. It's okay, because I do it. I need to feed myself with meat. There's no vegetarian options available. I feel like the driving force that compels someone to feed myself with meat. There's no vegetarian options available.
See, he says that like as an offhanded joke instead of it being his main point. Like, what the fuck? That is not a good support for people should be allowed to fuck dogs.
I feel like the driving force that compels someone to eat meat rather than just other vegetarian options like other synthetic proteins, and now we can grow meat in a test tube and fake burgers and all that shit.
What I'm really hoping is when I watch the VOD tomorrow, maybe he's changed that and he's talking now. Like, maybe this guy was, like, kind of taking it in bad faith. And in this, he's kind of saying, like, or in the video that we'll watch tomorrow, he's kind of saying, like, no, I was more trying to say, like, we should disassemble the meat industry. I really hope that's what this video is. Please, Adam, please, for the love of God.
Logical urge that you have to say, no, I really need to eat meat. And by the way, I'm not a vegetarian. I'm totally okay with killing animals for eating them. I just don't. I just accept it, right? I'm not a vegetarian. But if you are not a vegetarian, then you should not be condoning people that have non-abusive sex with animals.
Okay. Again, his point is not stop abusing animals. His point, and I'm not a vegetarian either. I kind of accept that there's an inherent violence to our species. I'm just like, you shouldn't condone it. You shouldn't accept. It's not good that we like hunt and eat animals. It's not a good thing. It's just a thing that we do. It's a thing we have to do. We don't have to fuck dogs. Don't fuck dogs.
You are supporting the murder of animals. You have to be okay with
You're
it.
supporting the fucking of animals, you weirdo.
If you eat meat, that's what you have to accept. I eat meat. I accept it. Don't lie to yourself. Ugh, where am I going? I went on a huge rant. Anyway, if you can't tell, I had a giant beer.
Yeah, that's the thing. He says he's drunk in this, and then in this one, he's like literally reiterating all the points sober.
I had beer and I haven't eaten that much today. I'm a little tipsy, but I stand by these statements. If I'm crucified for these statements, then 20 years from now, people will look back at this and be like, wow, I can't believe all these people were that stupid to crucify him for those statements. I believe that by making these statements that I'm on the right side of history, is all I'm saying.
What did he say? Okay. Maybe we can end it on this is his final statement.
Yeah, I don't agree with PETA either. PETA's fucking stupid. Where am I going? I'm checking my map. I want to go to the basement is what I want to do. Can I get to the basement through that place right there? I gotta piss so bad. Where do I go to the basement? There's an elevator to the basement, but the elevator is a different one than the one I've been using. Whereas the first floor has that elevator as well.
Okay, now I was just talking about let's read what he says. To clarify the people who need it, all animal abuse is bad, and this is, what is this? October 3rd. Okay, so this is like a month ago. All animal abuse is bad, whether sexual or otherwise. All sex with animals should be discouraged, regardless of perceived hypocrisies. Okay. If I could choose a world where no one is having sex with animals, I would choose that world. If you think any of these statements contradicts anything I've ever said, I either did not communicate myself well in that moment, or you did not understand me. Every single one of my controversial opinions has already been thoroughly explained with full context and clarification in the video being quoted in this post. If you see an old clip that you feel contradicts this video, it's out of date, and obviously not something I stand by. There's no point arguing with a version of myself from 10 years ago, because that is not me. I'm just that's your shadow that you left behind. I hate when people say that. It's like, no, that's part. I used to say that a lot, and I had to realize, like, no, that's an old version of me. We're the same person. I've grown from that, but trying to discard that is ultimately just covering something up that I don't like. I think maybe I'm weird on that. I don't know. I think the growth you get comes from accepting those things, not from like throwing them away. Accepting those things and letting them evolve. Every single one of my controversial opinions has already been... Oh, okay. There's no point arguing with a version of myself from 10 years ago because that is not me. I'm just as surprised to hear some of these dumb things as anyone else. Because believe it or not, I haven't memorized every single drunken rant that I made in my early 20s. The fact that people are going back that far to find reasons to be upset with me is proof of my positive growth and change over time. And no amount of me being an open and honest weirdo with spicy takes is going to stop me from valuing myself as a person. If any mutual wants further clarification, feel free to send a DM. Ideal scenario would be where one person has to research. Is there a fucking thing where he actually talks about it? Is it just him apologizing? I'm an open and honest weirdo with mental health issues. Okay. I was incoherent, irrationally angry in ways that I no longer am, partially and thanks to getting proper mental. I could see that. I could see that. It's just like you just, especially when you're in your early 20s, you just want to make like a fucking point. Maybe he's not a dog fucker. Maybe he's not. Maybe in the final cut where I cut all this up, I take out the part where I said I think he's a dog fucker. Which again, I don't know, but that is a very early 20s thing. Is like you have this opinion and it's controversial, and you're like, I don't fucking care. I want everyone to know about this. This does definitely give more context. I want to see what he says in this. We'll do that tomorrow. Okay. Well, I'll either watch. I'm gonna watch through some of this and see, because it's so long. See if I am like equipped to like handle this whole thing, or see if I just need to make this into a short where I like break down what he says a little bit more. I don't know. We'll do that tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I talk about this, politics. I don't talk about zoophilia. I'm a commentary channel. I talk about politics. I make video games. I talk about mods and indie games and Pokemon and Sonic. And yeah, I have an indie game I'm working on called Knights of Airs. If you like, please like, comment, and subscribe. If not, get the fuck out. Bye!